As usual, we start from a higher time frame whenever we want to analyze the markets. So this is daily time frame, and it's the highest time frame on this platform. As you can see, we have the daily time frame, we have the 8 hour, the 4 hour, and the 1 hour. But on the MT5, we have the weekly, the monthly time frame. So working with this platform, the highest time frame is the daily time frame, which we can see the current market structure. That's the first thing we look at for. Yeah. And when we zoom out of the charts, we can see the overall market direction. It's advised to always zoom out of the charts so you can get a bigger view of the market. So we can just spot this out to be the general market trend from the daily time frame view, which we've got series of lower highs, having this to be a high, a lower high, and another lower high. So we've got series of lower highs, and same thing here, series of lower lows. The first low here, lower low, lower low. So this is the overall market direction, the overall market structure. Following up, we had these previous structures, like these intermediate structures inside of the overall market structure. So we had this to be a bullish structure where we've got series of higher lows, series of higher lows here, and series of higher highs, and series of higher highs. So following up, we had this bearish structure, lower highs, lower lows, bullish structure, higher lows, higher highs, bearish, bullish, bearish. So this makes sense. We've got this to be a bullish, a bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, and currently we're on a bearish structure. So this is how we can easily spot out the current market structure. You can firstly zoom out of the chart to get a bigger view of the market, then proceed to spotting out the past structures so you can be able to identify the current market structure easily. So it's clear this index is on a downtrend, is on a bearish structure. We've had series of lower highs and series of lower lows. So the next thing we have to do is to spot out the historical levels and zones formed on this daily time frame structure, and we have this to be one of those key levels. We have this to be a level as well, this from the daily time frame view, and also got these lows. We have this level. So confirming these levels, all we need to do is to zoom into the charts and spot out the past reactions we've got on this level. So this upper level, you can see we've got price sold there as a resistance, sold resistance, bought as a support there, sorry, resistance there as well, resistance here. So this is a confirmed historical level because we've got past histories on this level, so that level is a valid level. The next level we have is this level, support here, resistance at that point, support here, resistance, and that valid level as well because we've got past histories, support here, price faked out the buy move, so that's a resistance, support, and currently we are getting price rest on this current level, rest on this level as a support. Looking at the past reaction, we could see little buys from this level here. We could get little buys from this level. Why I said little buys is because of the market structure. The buys we have to get from here, this historical level, is likely not to be a long-term buy because of the market direction, the market structure. So the market is bearish, and the buys would likely be short-term. So we should take note of this. And on this same daily time frame, we have an order block formed here, a bearish order block. This is a drop-based drop. So marking out this order block base, this could be a potential sell zone on this index from a higher time frame view, potential entry points. Yeah, so we've got this bearish structure, lower highs and lower lows, and confirming the structure as well. All we need to do is to spot out the highs and lows to be sure to be clarified on this structure. So having this to be a high, lower high, you had another high there, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So series of lower highs and series of lower lows, a low there, a lower low, lower low, lower low. So the market has formed series of lower highs and series of lower lows, and I think we have this to be the new low, which is a lower low. So we had this to be the last high and the last low. So what is expected for the market to do right now is to form a new high, a new lower high for a sell continuation. Emphasis on the sells because of the market structure. Yeah. So price could sell strongly to this level, and when we look at this area, we could see that there's no zone. We have no zone here, so this is more like a gap formed on this time frame. So we could see price come fill up this gap with a sell. We could see price come fill up this gap, coming to test these lows again. Maybe we could now get the buys. Yeah, but this is like a long-term projection on this index. So the sales is expected, and price is currently resting on a level of support, a historical level of support, the level of 6,229. So we could see price push up from here to come test this other block for a sell. So this is for the daily time frame projection on this index, but we can't conclude our analysis on this time frame. Yeah, so all we need to do is to proceed to the 4-hour time frame, analyze further to the 4-hour time frame, so we can get more clarity on this market analysis, this market prediction, the expected sales on this index. So on the 4-hour time frame, we have to spot the structures as well as we did on the daily time frame. So we have this to be a structure, a bearish structure. We've had series of lower highs, yeah, and series of lower lows. It's clear. Series of lowers and series of lower lows. We can just spot it out using the trend line tool, and just spot out this structure using the trend line tool. And on this 4-hour time frame, we have some historical levels which we have to spot out as well. So after spotting the structure on a time frame, the next thing we have to spot out is the historical levels formed on that time frame. So on this 4-hour time frame, we have this to be historical level of support now broken, turned resistance if price is to come give a retest of it. So it's a historical level of support because we've got past histories on it. Price has previously bought on this level, having the past reaction here, support here as well, support. This is the last reaction we had, the last buy reaction as a support, and this level has been broken right now. And whenever a level of support is broken, if that level gets retested, that level turns to a level of resistance. This support level has been broken right now, and we expect a retest of it for the sells, turning this level of support to a level of resistance. I believe this makes sense. And already we've marked out this zone on the daily time frame to be an order block, daily time frame order block, yeah. But you can see on the 4-hour time frame that there's no order block here. There's no order block formation on this 4-hour time frame. So the only entry point we've got at the moment, after we've analyzed the daily and the 4-hour time frame chart, is the daily time frame entry point, which we spread an order block. But we need our entry points to be more simplified. We need to reduce our risk if you are to get an entry on these sales. So we still have to go lower to see if we can see an order block that aligns or that falls into this zone for an entry point, because taking a sell trade from here would not really make any sense, because we would have a bigger risk. Only if you want to swing, that's when you can consider taking a sell trade, and your target should be bigger enough so you can get a good risk to reward on this trade. And remember, the projection is for a long-term sell to this point, yeah. So this for a swing view, a swing trade view on 10 index. But as day traders, we look out for short-term trades. We just have to go lower to look out for an entry point that aligns with this general projection, which is a sell, a long-term sell expected here. So we still have to analyze further to the 1-hour time frame. And on this 1-hour time frame, we have the structure to be bearish as well. We've got this bearish structure which also aligns with the daily time frame bearish structure, the 4-hour time frame bearish structure, and on this 1 hour time frame, we've also got a bearish structure. So I'm looking at this point to be potential sell points on this index. Though this other block drop out of the base is not looking that impulsive, like we had a short drop out of the base, but we can still work with it, being that on the daily time frame we already have this zone marked out to be a sell zone, and on the 1 hour time frame we have another block, but not perfectly formed. We had a good drop to the base was well formed, but the drop out of the base was not well formed. So this is where that entry confirmation comes in. Informations like this, whereby the other block was not perfectly formed, we have to look at for entry confirmation if price is to move into this other block base. Yeah, so all we need to do right now is to wait for a good push to this point, then look out for confirmations in this zone for a possible sell. So confirmations you have to look out for inside of this area is a reversal pattern formation, maybe on the 5 minutes time frame or on the 15 minutes time frame. We'll look out for a reversal pattern formation, and we are currently on the 5 minutes time frame, so we have to patiently wait for price to push up to this area, then would look out for confirmations. Maybe before price test this zone, you could see the market forming something like this, the left shoulder, the head here coming to test this other block base, and the right shoulder following up. So this would be a good confirmation, being that this other block has been tested, the base has been tested already. So all we have to do basically is wait for price to break out of this neckline, then we can look out for an entry point, having our entry to be like this. At this point, we've been able to minimize our risk and would have a bigger target as well. We can have multiple targets. Yeah, we can have our first target to be here, and if price breaks below this target, we can hold more to somewhere here, then hold more as well. That's like second target. Then third target should be here, fourth target should be close to this zone. Yeah, fourth target should be close to this area, like for a long-term sell opportunity. So let's see how this trade plays out. Let's see if price can move up to our sell entry points for a good sell opportunity. So if price can push up here, then we'll be looking for a sell opportunity on getting good confirmations from this zone. So this us reducing our risk on this trade. We can possibly push our risk to be this point, to be as high as this level. Then targets would be this big, would have big targets on this trade. Yeah, so that's my expectations and analysis on volatility 10 index. Long-term sells expected.